Hello everyone, this is part 43 of What If Naruto Had Two Bloodlines, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Hitomi, see ya, hatchling. Naruto, would ya knock it off with the hatchling stuff? Hitomi, well, when you become stronger I might just do that. Remember what I told you, use your power and your skills and one day you'll definitely become a great warrior. Naruto, right. The group was packed and ready to head out. All that was left was the final goodbyes. Nitsuki, goodbye everyone. Feel free to come back again. Hitomi, remember to train hard, hatchling. Naruto, later old lady, Grandma Nitsuki. Take it easy, Gramps. X, growls. Naruto plus you, oh, I'm hungry. Kiba, when aren't you too hungry? Yuki looked at Kiba with a death glare. Sakura, we'll eat as soon as we return to the hotel, for now, just bear with it. That kid in the orange, there's something unusual about him. A guy with short red hair whispered to his group of friends. That's because he's a dragon, like us, right sis? A girl with short and spiky brown hair stated. Right, but I never thought that another one existed, the girl with long brown, spiky hair replied. What do you think, Connell? Another questioned. Connell, I think we just found him, a great guy that will make our dreams come true. X, there was a knock on the door. We're sorry to disturb you, but we couldn't help being curious about all the commotion in this room, a girl with long spiky, brown said. Kakashi, oh, we're sorry, we'll try to keep it down. No, actually we wondered if we might join you. Kiba, sure, two beautiful ladies as yourselves are more than welcome. Oh, then we should introduce ourselves. I'm Ryubi and this is my younger sister, Ryuri, the girl with the long spiky, brown hair stated. Naruto, nice to meet ya. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Ryubi, Naruto Uzumaki. The two girls made their way into the room and headed right for Naruto. They looked him up and down and all around. Ryubi, okay, anyway, we didn't mean to impose but we were interested in Naruto. Kiba, interested in Naruto. Okay, what the hell are you up to? Ryubi, what do you mean? Kiba, why the hell would anybody be interested in Naruto? The only one that is Yuki and she's got a few screws loose, groans in pain. Yuki had kicked Kiba in a very sensitive area, and was now turning her attention to the girls that were all over her brother. Even though I know how great my brother Naruto is and all, and I expect for others to understand that as well, I can't help but wonder why exactly you have an interest in him. Ryuri, what are you getting at? What if I was to say that I was his lover? Naruto, she's my sister, she can't be my lover. On top of that, I'm too young for that type of stuff. Ryubi, so, there's nothing going on between you two, because you're brother and sister. Naruto, even though we claim to be brother and sister, we aren't really. That's just how our relationship is. Ryubi, I see, I'm happy to hear it because, to answer your question Yuki, we're interested in Naruto because, he's just like us. They untied their robes and dropped them to the floor revealing one with a black sleeveless, hooded dress with SS that showed a little of her hips and underwear and short black sandals, the one with short brown hair, Ryuri. And the other in a black sleeveless dress that showed some cleavage with gold outlines and imprints of dragons, a golden waistband, long black sleeves that extended from her wrists to her elbows, and knee-high boots. Naruto and the others noticed that something was unwrapping from their waists. Sakura, you have tails. Ryuri, yeah, we're dragons just like Naruto. After a satisfying dinner for some, not so much for everyone since no one really got a chance to eat their fill due to the extra mouths and bottomless pits, everyone just sat around. Since he was no longer preoccupied, Yuki thought that it would be a great time to ambush Naruto and pet him like crazy, before she could however, Ryubi, Ryuri, and Hanabi had beaten her to the punch. Knock it off. He's my brother so leave him alone. Ryubi, we're sorry, he's just so cute that we couldn't help ourselves, I wish I could keep him. Sakura, You can have him. Ryuri, really? Sakura, of course not. He isn't a pet. Ryubi, I didn't mean it like that. What I meant was, there aren't many strong young dragons like us left in the world, so, with a blush on her face. Kakashi, you mean you want Naruto to remain here with you? Sakura plus Yuki plus Hinata plus Kiba. What? Ryuri, right. Ryubi, why yeah, if it isn't too much trouble, with a bigger blush on her face. Kakashi, I can understand where you're coming from, but Naruto is a shinobi of our village. He has a home, and whether others believe it or not, he is needed and wanted there. For him to leave all that behind is all up to him. So, what will it be? Naruto. Naruto, I can't leave my village behind because I still have unfinished business there. I'll come and visit whenever I can though, or you can come and visit me. Ryubi plus Ruori, sad tone, oh, okay. It was getting late, so Ryubi and her sister left. They headed to a dark alley where they met the others. Ryubi, it won't be as easy as we thought, he'd rather return home. Ryuri, what should we do? Ryubi, Connor, what does Connell have planned? Looking at the redhead boy. The next morning Naruto and the others were all packed and ready to go. Naruto expected for the Dragon Sisters to see him off, but they left the village and made their way home. Along the way, they were being followed by many figures hidden in the shadows. However good they kept themselves hid, they couldn't escape detection. Kakashi, so, just how long do you intend on following us? More importantly, why are you following us? If you want us for something, you should show yourselves and so that we could talk face to face. At the demand of Kakashi, they revealed themselves. No one could recognize anyone among them, so they asked who they were. The group of 60 or so men mentioned that they were bandits and that they received an anonymous tip about how they could make some money off of someone in the group. Kakashi, they intend on caping one of us. Could they be after? It was a melee of people and weapons. Someone set off an explosive and a thick black cloud smoke filled the area. In all of the commotion, some of the ninjas were separated from the others. Naruto was standing alone in a clearing when he heard a rustling in the nearby bushes. From them emerged two shadowy figures. Naruto, oh it's you, I guess it only makes sense for you two to find me. Does this mean that you decided to come with us to our village? Ryuri, about that. Before she could finish, there was an explosion in another area of the forest. Naruto, what was that? He tried to run in the explosion's direction but was immediately stopped by Ryubi and Ryuri, who tried to drag him away from it. Naruto, wait, what are you doing? We're going the wrong way. Ryuri, no we're not, we're heading away from the danger. Naruto, but the others could be in trouble. They may need our help. Ryubi, they seem to be the bright bunch, so I'm sure that they have the same idea we do, still dragging Naruto further into the forest. Kurenai and Kakashi had finished off the last of the bandits in their area but were having trouble with the mastermind, Connell. Kakashi, this guy is pretty tough. Kurenai, yeah, I guess it's a good thing I decided to join in. Kakashi, yeah, he's been going all out from the start, I haven't even had the time to lift my headband. Kurenai, I'll cover you, I'll keep him distracted just long enough for you to take advantage. Naruto, Ryuri, just where are you taking me? Ryubi, somewhere safe for the moment, stopping in front of a cave. Naruto followed the sisters into the dark cave, but he still didn't understand why. Why would they lead him to somewhere that's safe but neglect to help the others? Ryubi, Naruto. Ryuri, let's have some fun. Seeing that he was taking forever to figure out what they meant, Ryuri and Ryubi patted the ground and told Naruto to take a seat between them. Naruto looked at the spot and noticed that the two were sitting on something. From the looks of it, it was some kind of bedding, a bunch of pillows and covers. Ryubi, just watch and we'll show you, Ryuri. Ryuri grabbed her sister's hand and looked into her eyes. Right in front of Naruto they both leaned in and Naruto was in disbelief. He couldn't believe what he had seen, or thought he had seen. Just as they were inches away from each other's face, a strong gust blew into the cave and extinguished their light. Ryuri, you liked it right. Ryubi, the kiss. She began blushing furiously as she fawned over the thought. Ryuri, sis. Ryubi, yes, eyes still closed. Ryuri, flatly, he's running away. Ryubi, that's nice, still lost in thought, wait, what? She opened her eyes and sure enough Naruto was gone. The two sisters quickly ran out of the cave to see Naruto still running. They gave chase, calling out to him in hopes that he would stop and at least give them a chance to explain. Ryuri, Naruto. Wait, hear us out. Ryubi, we need you. Naruto, I'd love to help but, I'm too young to do something like that. Still running through the forest. Ryubi, you don't need to run away. We can take it one step at a time. Connell attacked again and Kakashi quickly disappeared underground, being missed by a hair. Connell looked around and waited in anticipation for where he might pop out next. As he expected, Kakashi burst out behind him and attempted to grab a hold of his big, bushy tail. Connell reacted quickly and in one swipe of his sharpened claws, slashed Kakashi's frame in half. As the pieces hit the ground, they went up in smoke, cluing Connell and Kurenai in on what really happened. Suddenly, Connell could feel his power slipping away. He turned back to see that in the very hole he had disappeared into, was Kakashi with his tail in hand. Connell began to revert back to normal as his features began to disappear and his tail became smaller and more refined. Connell did all he could to fight it and maintain himself. Every now and then he would regain a feature only to have it disappear or revert again. Connell, you bastard. Let go. Let go of my tail. Snarling at Kakashi, you're nothing but a coward Kakashi, you knew that you would lose and sir, you grabbed my tail out of desperation. He lunged at Connell as he tried to cycle through seals. Before he could finish things, something caught his attention out the corner of his eye. Kurenai, Kakashi, look out. In one swift motion he SD one perpetrator to his right and another to his left. He quickly realized that there was a problem. In the confusion he had released his hold on Connell's tail, allowing him to go free. Connell retreated into the forest to recompose himself. Kakashi was shocked to see that the ones responsible for saving the enemy, Connell, was Connell himself. On the ground lay two boss, both with the very same appearance as Connell. They suddenly disappeared but in a strange way. Connell, very perceptive Kakashi, talking from a hidden location, the technique I just used is a specialty of my clan. It allows the user to make copies of himself like the shadow clone jutsu, but the copies aren't as weak and are as capable as the user. Kakashi, clan jutsu. Connell, yes, I'll show you. Naruto had been running through the forest when he finally came to a stop. The sisters caught up to him and they could see that he was still in search of his friends. From what they could tell, Naruto's friends were scattered throughout the forest or engaged in fights. Suddenly, they sensed a familiar person nearby. From the bushes emerged Naruto's sister, Yuki. She looked like she had been through hell. Naruto, Yuki, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just glad that I finally found you, running over and hugging Naruto. While this was happening, Ryubi and Ryuri gave each other a look. Ryubi walked over and grabbed Naruto by the wrist and began leading him away. Naruto, what's going on? We should stick together and look for everyone else. Ryubi, that's just what we're gonna do. Ryuri just wanted to be alone with your sister to ask her something in private, leading him away. She dragged Naruto off and left Ryuri and Yuki alone. So what are you so secretive about that you wanted to talk to me alone? Ryuri, I just wanted to see for myself, you're not a normal girl, I can smell it. I figured that you would. For a while there, I thought you would blab my secret. Ryuri, why do you hide what you are? Why do you care? Snidely. Ryuri, I don't, but since you're gonna be that way, I guess the time for talk is over. Naruto was still being led deeper into the forest by Ryubi. Naruto, shouldn't we wait for the others? Ryubi, there's no time, we have to get out of here before we're interrupted again. Stops and pauses, it figures someone would find us all the way out here, grumbling to herself. She and Naruto turned to their left and looked up the hill. There stood Ryubi, Naruto, there you are, where have you been Hinata? Ryubi, so I guess that we can never be alone without someone else butting in. Naruto, looks like both of our friends came to check up on us. Naruto, turning to his right. From the shadows of the bushes came another figure. Naruto could tell that it was someone that could use chakra but couldn't tell who. Naruto, who are you? As the figure slowly made its way into the clearing. My name is Connor and I'm a friend of Ryubi, it's nice to finally meet you. Naruto, what do you want? Connor, my, so informal, but I guess I'll tell you what I'm here for. What I want, is you. Naruto, what? Ryubi, I'm sorry Naruto, forgive me. She raised her hand behind Naruto's head and prepared to strike. Hinata, Naruto, look out. Naruto jumped away before Ryubi could make a swing. Naruto, Ryubi, what are you doing? Ryubi, I'm sorry Naruto, but you have to come with us. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get you, begins to morph. An explosion was heard and many of the others could see dark smoke rising. Kakashi, that isn't good, someone else may be in trouble, but I can't just simply run off to see what's going on. This guy, there's no way I can beat him on my own, not with that jutsu of his. One's already too fast and strong for me to get in a good shot, and more is making this a horrible day. My only choice is Kakashi, well, I'm sure you plan on walking away from this battle with your life. I certainly plan to, so why don't we just go our separate ways for now to maybe battle another day? Connell, I knew it. You are a coward. You know you can't beat me, so you want me to spare your life so that one day we can battle again. Too bad for you that I won't allow that. You and your comrades will less here and I'll be one step closer to getting what I want. Kakashi, and what do you want? Connell, that's none of your damn business. Kakashi, okay, you know, we don't have to do this. Connell, oh yes we do, there's someone among you that I want, and the rest of you have to rest so that an entire village doesn't come hunting me down, it's that simple. The ground beneath Connell began to crumble and from it emerged Kakashi grabbing for the tail again. Connell jumped back in time to avoid getting caught. Connell, growls, you bastard. Kakashi, I was hoping that it wouldn't come to this, but it looks like I have no choice. Kakashi began cycling through hand seals. Before he could finish, he felt 5 sharp claws into his body. Connell looked Kakashi in his non-Sharingan eye and prepared to deliver the finishing blow. Connell, as if you could win. From the trees jumped another Kakashi, but Connell knocked him away with one well-placed kick to the gut. He crashed into a tree and went up in a cloud of smoke. Connell turned his attention back to the Kakashi he had at the end of his claws. He jumped back in time to avoid having his compliments of Kakashi. A safe distance away, Connell felt a warm sensation on his end. He placed his hand to it and saw that blood was seeping from a slash under his jaw. When he looked up he noticed that Kakashi was gone. Connell, you bastard. You think you can run and hide from me? I'll track you down no matter where you go. Howling at the end. Ryubi heard the howl as did everyone in the forest. Ryubi, you seem like a nice girl Hinata, you shouldn't get involved in this, as long as you don't interfere, I may be able to get the others to spare your life. Hinata, what? What are you saying? Why are you doing this? Ryubi, our clan is dwindling down to nothing but weaklings, my sister and I could use Naruto's help in keeping it strong and going. Hinata, why does it have to be Naruto? Ryubi, we could try with other beast warriors, but the chances of the offspring being dragons are mighty slim. With a dragon like Naruto who's strong even at such a young age, it's almost guaranteed to produce great results. Hinata, almost. Ryubi, there's more to Naruto than him just being a dragon. From what I can tell there are more than just dragons in his lineage, and what's worse is that he isn't even a full-blooded beast warrior, but he's the best we can do at the moment, probably ever. It may be difficult to revive our clan due to the fact that it's rare for a dragon to even be born, even among 2 full-blooded members. Hinata, I see, your situation is tough, that much I understand, but it doesn't explain why you are willing to cause harm to others. You could have come along with us to our village and tried to revive your clan there, even though I kind of don't want it to happen because, well, I was willing to step aside as long as Naruto was happy. I even thought we could be friends. Ryubi, as long as Naruto is happy. Hinata, you have feelings for Naruto, don't you? Looks at a blushing Hinata, I'm glad that you can be so understanding. I promise that I will do all I can to take care of Naruto and make sure that he is happy. Maybe with your help I can convince him to come along with us and. Hinata, no. Shaking her head. You manipulating Naruto into going with you is unacceptable. If he were to choose you, then I probably wouldn't mind, but you holding your respective clan's future over his head is no way to do things. Ryubi, I thought you understood my plight. I thought we could be friends as well, and I even thought that I could name you as the godmother to my children, But, since I have no choice, you won't even be around. Beginning to transform once again. Connor, that howl just now, it came from my older brother and it seems that he's about to get serious. I feel sorry for whoever crosses his path now, ha ha ha. Naruto, you bastard. Don't laugh. Connor, why not? All of your comrades are gonna and all for some pathetic, insignificant little lizard that probably doesn't even deserve the life he has. Naruto, exactly, that's why, I have to get by you and help them. Explosions could be heard all around him, but Naruto couldn't let that distract him. In order to help his friends, he would need to find a way to get by his opponent. Naruto got up and created a few shadow clones. Connor was surprised to see this, but he didn't have enough time to enjoy the sight as they all attacked. Connor, I told you, that won't. He was hit by a punch to the face and stumbled back. Before he could recover, he was hit again and again, and again. To try and make up for his lack of defense, Connor began to swing wildly in hopes of connecting. After a few tries, he finally got lucky and slashed one of the Narutos that disappeared in a puff of smoke. Connor looked on as the Naruto he eliminated left 7 Narutos in total. It finally occurred to him what he should do. He quickly cycled through hand seals only to be propelled into the air by a few kicks from Naruto. Adamant about finishing his technique, Connor managed to continue on until he saw a Naruto spinning through the air. Naruto, Uzumaki's barrage. Naruto connected with a spinning axe kick that sent Connor crashing into the ground. Thinking that it was over, the Narutos turned to leave, only to have chills go up and down their spines. They turned to see that the ground was beginning to freeze over as white mist crept towards them. Connor, I know that was supposed to take you alive, but right now, I can't help but want to kill you. Connor stepped from the mist along with 6 more of himself. A chill in the air. The big bad wolf's presence. Everyone was faced with adversity, but they knew that they would have to get through it. With their pride and the comrades' lives on the line, they fight. A chill filled the air as the area began to slightly freeze over. Naruto and his clones were now faced with a tough opponent, times 7. One was bad enough, but 7, and what was with the big chill? As if things couldn't get any worse, Naruto heard Connor call out the name of his technique. Connor, ninja art, Wolfman transformation jutsu. Using his claws to off his shirt, Connor revealed the changes his jutsu brought. White fur began to cover his body, leaving only his chest, abdomen, and the palms of his hands bare. His white ears grew larger and his hair grew longer, down to his shoulders. His entire eyeballs turned crimson red with only the pupil being left white, his teeth grew and his canines were now sticking from his mouth, and red markings appeared on his face under his eyes. In front of the Naruto stood 7 furry and fearsome-looking wolfmen. Together they let out intense, intimidating howls before turning their attention to the Narutos. They pounced. The Narutos quickly moved, leaving afterimage after afterimage all about. The 2 combatants battled furiously. They went at it, tooth and nail as the fists and the fur flew. It seemed that no matter what they tried, the Narutos just couldn't get the upper hand, until seeing an opening on one of the wolfmen, a Naruto attacked using a kunai. He plunged it right into its heart but noticed that it appeared to finish some hand seals, and it was too late. The blood leaking onto the kunai and sping from the wolfman's body started to solidify as it began to freeze. It took a deep breath and the Naruto began to turn into a human popsicle. By the time the blood hit the ground and shattered, he was completely frozen over and shattered as well. The wolfman dropped to the ground and disappeared. Naruto, well, I guess that's 1 down. Naruto, and 6 that could do the very same to the rest of us, to go. Naruto, you don't have to put it that way. Naruto, I'm just saying, we have to be careful or we could all end up like. He was cut off as one of the wolfmen slashed right through him. The rest of the Narutos quickly regrouped and prepared to attack. They cycled through their hand seals and reared back. While they were doing this, the wolfmen did the same as each took a deep breath of air. All at once they unleashed their attacks. Naruto's Dragon Wave, Connor's Ice Style, Ice Blast. The 2 sides battled for supremacy as neither would give an inch. In the end, the 2 attacks exploded, causing sparkling ice to rain from the sky. The Narutos noticed that the wolfmen weren't done just yet. They were up to something more. Connor's Ice Style, Freezing Rain. The shards of falling ice were suddenly turned on the Narutos, destroying 2 more clones. The others quickly took cover behind some trees for protection as the attack continued. Naruto, man. How are we supposed to beat this guy? Naruto, I don't know, maybe we should try and take out the original and see if that doesn't get rid of the rest of them. Naruto, I suppose it's worth a shot, but which one is the original? Peeking from behind the tree. He was looking intensely at the remaining wolfman when it hit him. He noticed that since Connor had taken on the transformation, something was off. Naruto, I think I got it. Naruto, really? What do you got? What do we do? Naruto, multi-shadow clone jutsu. Creating clones. All I need for you guys to do is keep them distracted and I'll take care of the rest. From behind the trees came about 30 Narutos. Immediately, they all attacked the wolfman. With slashes and bites from the sharp claws and teeth, the wolfman easily defeated many of the clones as they gruesomely spared them to shreds. Using his Shadow Star technique, along with the confusion caused by the others, Naruto managed to get in close enough to attempt to connect with a Naruto, Rasengan, thrusting it into one Connor's body. Making contact, Naruto's Rasengan sent Connor twirling through the air, across the ground, and finally into a tree. The rest of the wolfmen disappeared as a result. Proud of their accomplishment, the Narutos all congratulated each other on a job well done. Unfortunately, the celebration would end prematurely. Connor slowly got back up to his feet, showing signs of at least some injury. Naruto, what does it take to keep this guy down? Connor cycled through seals and grimaced as he transformed once again. He made his way to the top of a tree, grunting in agony along the way. He began going through hand seals and the ice and snow created during their fight formed a group of wolves that attacked. Connor, ninja art, ice pack jutsu. The wolves surrounded the Narutos before attacking. When they did, they took out a few clones by sinking their frozen fangs into them before burying the rest under the ice and snow they were formed from. Now there was only one Naruto left and this was it. Connor jumped into the air and went through his seals, finally ending with his hands cupped in the shape of a diamond. Connor, ninja art, age of ice jutsu. He took in a deep breath, puffing out his chest, and blew through his hands. A stream of freezing air, ice, and snow made its way towards Naruto. He would have to act fast. Naruto, Dragon's Wrath, hair turning red then white. He launched his counter-strike and the two attacks collided. Once again ice fell from the sky as a result. Connor was surprised that Naruto had managed to thwart his attempt with sheer force. He took a close look at the now frosted battlefield and the surrounding areas that were blanketed by ice. Everything was frozen, save for a patch under Naruto in the shape of a diamond. As Connor looked on, Naruto noticed that a wicked smile crossed his fanged lips. He prepared himself as Connor jumped straight into the air while making hand seals. By the time he finished, he had created a board of ice on his feet and was now headed at Naruto at great speeds. Naruto reared back and launched a dragon wave, but Connor easily avoided it. Connor, Ice Blade. He created a blade of ice on his right arm to maneuver out of the attack's path and increased his speed. Before he could react, Naruto had been slashed by Connor as he whizzed by. In pain from being cut across the chest, Naruto dropped to his knees. He picked himself up and turned around in time to receive another slash, and another, and another. Though he didn't have the time to see how Connor was pulling off the attacks himself, Naruto could tell that he was using some kind of ramps to turn back and increase speed by flying into the air and coming back. Auto FN, like in snowboarding or the ramps at a skate park. Naruto could sense Connor's chakra and pinpoint him, but with the speed Connor was traveling, Naruto didn't have enough time to stop him. Connor had just come down the ramp and was quickly advancing towards Naruto. Naruto sprang to his feet and into the air just in time to avoid being impaled by Connor's blade. While there, Naruto came up with a way to hopefully defeat his opponent. Naruto, Shadow Clone Jutsu. 2 clones appeared and transformed into kunais. Naruto grabbed them and hurled them at the ground. He then tore his jacket and shirt off before dropping to the earth. Once he landed, he pulled out 3 more kunai, 1 for each hand and 1 for his tail. He set himself and prepared to counter. Connor flew into the air and back down the ramp and quickly advanced towards Naruto. Naruto reared back and tried to block Connor's blade before it could impale him. Focusing all three kunai on one point, Naruto managed to block the attack and break Kono's blade at the focused point. Kono began to spin out of control, but he regains himself. Seeing his opportunity, Naruto threw all three of the kunais. Kono attempted to regain his former momentum. Before he could, however, he felt a kunai in the back, and in order to avoid the other two, he swerved between the kunais Naruto tossed while in the air. Luckily, avoiding the kunais, Kono made his way to the ramp in hopes of building a little speed. Naruto created two more shadow clones as Kono bypassed them, trying to increase his speed. Two Narutos carefully stepped out onto the ice and each fired a dragon wave aimed at Kono, who managed to evade. The force pushed the Narutos across the ice and the two began focusing chakra in order to create a Rasengan while sliding. With it formed, the other Naruto grabbed the other by the arm and began spinning in a circle. He finally released and sends Naruto skating to the two kunais that transform back. Naruto reached the first, who did the same and spun Naruto in a circle before releasing him in the direction of the last. Kono finally reached the ramp and made a U-turn through the air and streaked across the ice. Naruto reached the last one, who rapidly spun him around while the other clones tried to slow Kono by blasting beams of chakra at him. Unfortunately, Kono evaded the blasts and still continued, a little slower but still. The last spin cycle is completed and Naruto is launched in Kono's direction wielding a Rasengan. He streaked past one clone and another but began slowing down before coming to the patch of land. The Naruto on the patch caught him by his arm and, in one spin, flung him at Kono, who was preparing a jutsu for the occasion. The two shot at each other with great velocity and Kono, frostbite, glowing claws, Naruto, Rasengan. An explosion of light and chakra and smoke filled the area as the Narutos watched on in anticipation for the outcome. A crash could be heard as, across the ice, Kono had been implanted into the frozen trunk of a tree after bursting through many more. As the smoke began to clear, sparkling shards of ice rained from the sky. The Narutos were horrified to see that the Naruto that had made contact with Kono was now frozen solid. As if that wasn't terrible enough, Kono had managed to forcibly stagger himself back to his feet, just barely. He looked at his work and, as much as he could, gave a wicked smile. Using his monkey-like tail, he plucked out the kunai still lodged in his back and, as easily as he could, slowly made some seals. The Naruto saw this and tried to quickly move into position to attack, but the slippery ice made it difficult. Kono finished with his seals and gave one final, painful little chuckle before placing his hands on the ground. Kono, ice style, ice pillar impalement. From his position, sharp pillars of ice began to rise from the earth and the path towards a frozen Naruto. Unable to get into position, the other Narutos had to watch in horror as the pillars approached the Naruto sickle. Kono was ecstatic to see the ice crumble and this fight finally come to an end. As if time was coming to a screeching halt, the ice slowly broke apart and soon, so did Naruto. Kono watched in delight as the clones disappeared in an explosion of smoke. It was finally over. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.